Yes, these are the accounts that I'm going to open. So I'm going to explain. So the first one is EMP201 Control. Okay, I'm going to explain them one by one. So I'm going to go and write it down there. Let me give you a chance to take a screenshot of this. You can take this screenshot
of this. Okay.
Yeah, just so that you can have it. So when I explain, you can refer.
Okay, fine.
Okay, now I'm gonna EMP201. I prefer to call it so that it can make sense. Let me just change the color first. I prefer to call it EMP201 Control account. Remember, they will give you the formats like I said.
Okay.
I prefer to call it that because that is SARS account, so it's anything to do with SARS. Okay.
Is this gonna be always like this, like EMP control account?
Yeah, it's gonna be like that, EMP control account. So normally, but the reason why I write SARS because people don't normally know that this is SARS account. You know
Okay.
that we pay various things to SARS. You can write them down. This is what we normally pay to SARS. I'm gonna write them down here at the bottom. We pay UIF to SARS. Okay.
Yes.
We pay obviously pay SUN, the tax. The only three things that we want to pay to SARS. Okay, only these three things that I wrote at the bottom here. Can you see now? So the EMP accounts must contain these three things. Can you see now? So when you are recording in the test exam, make sure that when they are asking you for the SARS EMP201 account, only record things which must be paid to SARS, because UIF must go to SARS, tax must go to SARS, and SDL must go to SARS. So I know most students, what they do, they even put pension here. Pension doesn't go to SARS. Can you see now? Pension goes to, let's say, for example, Discovery, something like that. Can you see now?
Yes.
Yes, so pension goes to those things. So yeah, but any questions so far?
No, fine. Still fine.
Okay, fine. Okay, now, so firstly, we need to go and check the information. Okay, so now, sorry, I'm just gonna go back. Remember that I don't know if you've got the screenshot of this, but it's okay. This is the question that I want us to focus on.
Let me check the screenshot. Okay.
Okay. You take it?
Yes, I did.
No problem. Now, if you look at this, those items which I named at the bottom there, do you see them? Those three things that I wrote down there.
Yes. Oh, yeah. They're here. There's UIF, there's tax.
Yes.
And there's SDL.
Yes. So those things are very much important. So we need to go and note. As you can see, let's start with the UIF. I want us to start with the UIF. Now, if you check UIF, we've got UIF both sides. We have got UIF on the employee side. Okay, let me write it like this. I will call this side the employee side. I think you understand. Let me just do employee side. Let's just wait for the system. So I think you can see this one. This side is the employee side. And then the other side here is the employer side. I think they are divided by net salary. So on the left of your salary, on the left of your net salary, that is the employee side. On your right is the employer's side.
Salary.
You get it? Yes. Now, what we need to do, wherever you see UIF, we need to note. So we see UIF twice, meaning in that EMP, I'm going to record UIF twice. Are we together?
Okay.
But we only transfer the totals. Are we together?
Okay.
So we only need the totals. These are the totals. Let me just write it down for the sake of understanding. So these are just the totals. So I only need totals in this case. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, I want us to go and check that account again for SARS, because I want you to understand. I don't know if you can get it once, I'm telling you, you're going to understand forever. So when I go back to the account that I said you must open, now we need to classify this account. Remember, this UIF, PAYE, SDL has been collected by what? By the employer. You agree with me? Who deducted this from our salary is our employer. Are we together?
Yes.
So the employer is deducting them, but these things does not belong to us. They must be paid to SARS. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Meaning the employer must take UIF, PAYE and SDL to the employer, to SARS. So it means the employer owes SARS. Do you understand me?
Yes.
Because the employer has got money that belongs to SARS. So this will help me to classify this account. Remember, when we did this, we had groups of accounts. So how can we classify SARS at the moment according to the groups? How many groups do we have? Do you still remember when we did accounting together last year?
2.
There are how many groups of accounts in accounting?
Oh, 3.
No, there are not 3. There are 5. Let's name them quickly.
Oh,
assets.
Current assets.
Yes.
Non-current assets. Current.
No, just take assets only. Don't categorize them. Just give me only assets. Don't worry about the current or non-current. So give me the main groups. Assets.
Assets, owner's equity.
Yes.
Liability.
Yes.
Owner's equity includes expense and income.
Yes, expense and incomes. There are 5 of them. So where do you think SARS EMP must go under?
Income.
Income belongs to the business. Does this belong to the business? Remember, I said these three things that I wrote down there, we owe SARS. The minute I see the word owe, what comes to my mind?
Oh, we owe SARS. It's like owner's equity expense.
The word owe must give you something from that. Just choose the group that says owe.
Liability.
Liability. So this will help us a lot. So we need to know that this is a liability, and you and I know that liabilities increase under which side?
Credit side.
They increase on the credit side. So for my own control, I'm gonna just write plus here so that I can remember. Can you see now? And then I'm gonna obviously when I come on the other side, I'm gonna decrease. So please, I want you to understand the basic first so that you cannot guess. I want you to understand what's going on. Are you okay?
Yes.
Yes. So this is what I want you to remember. Can you see now? So they increase on the credit. But let me just use it like this so that they decrease here. I'm gonna put an arrow that goes down like this. Maybe it will help a lot. So that when you record, you've got an idea of what's going on. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So we owe these things. So to show that I owe, I will record on the credit side. That's why now when I record the UIF, I must go to the credit side. Are we together?
Yes.
Yes. Now, we need to go back to the information. Now we're recording now. We focus on the UIF. Remember, we take one thing at a time. Okay? Or one account at a time. So let's look at on the left-hand side. We see UIF, but this comes from the employee side.
Mm-hmm.
How much is the total?
625.
625 point
173.
23. So this must be recorded in the EMP201 under which side?
Credit side.
On the credit side. Are we together?
Yes.
Yes, that's important because we owe. Remember, we're not paying yet. We're just showing that we owe SARS. So if you check the exercise, do you remember the date and the year for this? The year, the month, and the year and the month. Let's go and check.
Let me check.
I think we're dealing with March 2012. Ne?
March 2012, yeah.
Yes. So we need to show the dates. Dates are very much important here. We're gonna come here to the date here. We write 2012. And we write March. And we just have to write the end of the month. March ends on the 31st. Ne? It must be at the end of the month. Okay. So we just have to write it like this. So I think you understand. I'm gonna put it there. Can you see now? That's how I put the date. It must be like that. Now I need to write that this comes from which journal? If I go back to the journal, what is the name of the journal that we have?
SARS.
Salary. I'm talking about the journal. Where you got this information from?
UIF.
Where did you? No, I was asking about the journal. Where you got the information from? You got it from the salaries journal. Remember?
Yes.
Yes, that was
yeah.
what I. So you need to write under details. You write what? Salary what?
Expense.
Expense. Let me tell you something. So the minute you write salary expense, this shows that in brackets, I want you to write something. In brackets, salary expense. Okay. So the system, I don't know. This sometimes this Wi-Fi can be okay. In brackets, there you write UIF. I'm going to explain. Don't know, it's going to be nice. So in brackets, you write, can you see now? UIF. Always do that. I'm going to explain why. My columns are not that big enough, but you understand, okay?
Yes.
Now, so you need to write this because they will give you a mark for this. The minute we see salary expense, this shows that this UIF comes from the employee side.
Oh.
Does that make sense? So this shows that we took it from the employee side. Does that make sense?
Yes, and if it comes from the employer's side.
I'm going to show you now. I'm going to show you. You will see. I'm going to show you because now we have got UIF both sides. For now, we're focusing on the employee side. Thereafter, I'm going to show you the employer side.
All right.
Yes. For the folio, you can just write from which journal did you take this information from? What is that journal that you took screenshot on?
Salary journal.
Come again?
Salary journal.
Salary journal. I'm going to write what? SG. Yes. Can you see now? This is important. And how much is that amount? I think it was 62 something, 625.
625, yeah.
When something.
73. 73.
So I want you to get this. We set salary expenses because it comes from the employee side. Okay? Now let's go to the employer side. So if I can go back to the employer side, you will see we also have UIF. We cannot ignore that. We must also record it. You can see here. We must also record it. As you can see, we have got UIF here. UIF here, but it's from the employer side. We must also record, even though it's the same amount, but the way we record, it must look different because when I look at it, I must understand that I took it from the employer side. So I must still go to the same side, remember? But instead there, I must write UIF contribution. So it must have the word contribution to show that it comes from what? The employer. Are we together?
Yes.
Yes. And obviously the amount is going to be the same. That's the only thing that you need to be careful with. So the minute I see the UIF contribution, it means it comes from the employer side. If I see the word salary expenses, it means it comes from the employee side. Did you get the logic?
Yes.
If it was, okay, let's say we're dealing with the wages journal, what do you think it will look like for both? If it was the wages here.
Wages, it's gonna be
wages.
Same
if let's
thing?
say
It won't be the same thing?
No, but remember, I'm not dealing with salaries now. I said if I'm dealing with wages, the only one thing that is going to change is going to be this.
Okay.
It's going to become what?
Wages.
Wages. It's going to have, you're going to have wages, expenses. Can you see now?
Yeah.
And then here is going to stay the same. And then here you're going to have WJ. I don't know if you are following or not.
Yes, I'm following.
Are you following?
Yes.
Okay. So if you understood me, you will be able to do the other one for me. So the next one that we see, can we go back to the question? Remember, so far, we have this one. We have, I think we have done this one, the UIF. Now let's go and check what? PAYE. We have PAYE. Let's go and check. we have PAYE?
Yes.
Yes, we do. We must start with this one. This is the amount that I'm looking for. 21,318.48.
48.
Yes. So we're going to transfer this one. So use the same logic, and I want you to tell me what to go and do. Okay? I'm going to go back. Use the same logic that I gave you. So tell me where, under which side, and how.
First date, same date, 2012.
Yeah, I don't have to write it again. Yes.
Don't have to write it again. Okay, fine. Can we say pay or can we say tax? No, you can say pay. Expenses.
Whatever you see. You're gonna say
pay
on
expense.
which side?
Credit side.
Okay. You're gonna say
pay expense.
No. Same way, just check the way you put UIF. It must be like that.
Salary expense.
Yes.
SG. 21,000.
Before that, but you can't just say salary expense. Remember, you said salary expense. Eh? But you can't just say salary expense.
Oh, you must. Okay. Under
Can you see now?
bracket pay. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I see.
Yes. So you must not forget that. So you must say salary expense. I'm just gonna shift it there so that can you see so that it can fit. Let's see. I don't want it to overlap. I think you understand. So it must be like this. Will you remember?
Yes, I will.
Let me try to make it a bit smaller. Hopefully it's not that small because I want it to fit. Is it visible enough from your side?
Yeah, I can see.
No problem. And then you just have to say SJ here. Ne? SJ. And how much is the amount?
21,318.
21,318.48.
48.
I hope you understand what I'm saying. So just like that. So don't forget salary expense. As long as it comes from the employee side, you must have the word salary expenses or salary expenses, and in brackets you put whatever.
All right.
Okay. Remember, we must check both sides. If you go to the employer side, do you see payee?
No.
Will you ever find it in future?
No.
Because the company does not pay what?
Does not pay tax.
Yeah, it will always be on our employee side. So let's say for the sake of understanding, let's say we had payee on the employer side. How would I write it here?
Pay contribution.
Payee contribution, but we know it will never happen. Are we together?
Yes.
Because the employer doesn't contribute towards your tax. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, no problem. I'm happy. So we have dealt with payee, we are left with SDL. Remember, we only record what we see. Let's go back to the question and check. Do you see any SDL account or information? Where do you see it? Which side?
Employer's contribution.
Okay, no problem. Let's go and record because the amount is how much? It's 1,092. As you can see here, 1,092.31 cents. So we need to go back and record it. Show me how to record it, and I'll do that.
We can record it on the debit side
Why now?
because
Why are
it's
others?
the,
Why? Come again.
excuse me?
Why do you go to the debit side? Because why didn't you go to the debit side with the other ones?
Because those one was the employees paying.
But even UIF was the we have got
Yes,
employers
it's still the debit, it's still credit side because it's also paying.
to SARS.
Yes,
Okay, how will I record it?
it's credit side.
Yes.
Salary expense. No,
Is it coming from the employee side?
no.
So you can't say salary
It's
expense.
employers contribution under bracket
Employer.
SDL.
Check the way you wrote the first one. Check the way you wrote UIF.
It's SDL under bracket or SDL just like this.
Check UIF the same way you wrote UIF there. How did you record UIF?
Salary expenses.
We are dealing with the employer side.
Salary income.
No. Check the way you recorded UIF from the, go back to the UIF and check the way you recorded UIF from the employer. How did you write it? Go back there, number 2 there. You will see. When we record in this account, check number 2. How did you write it?
UIF contribution.
So how are we gonna write this one?
SDL contribution.
Yes. I can see you're a bit confused, but I think you're gonna get it. Can you see? That's how to record. You can see UIF contribution, SDL contribution. Even if you can say employer's contribution, I don't mind, but I want to see that UIF. I want to see that SDL. I want to see the word contribution.
Okay.
As you can see, others I said what? Salary expense, because they come from the employee side. Okay. How much?
$1,092.31.
0.31. Any question?
Can they ask us to do a general ledger with, you see the first question, that the one that we did with that wages journal?
They can. But it won't change anything. You're going to do the same thing, but because you are dealing with wages, where you just have to change here. For example, here, salaries, wherever you see salary, you say what? Wages expense. Can you see now? Yeah, it doesn't change anything, honestly. Same thing. Just that you can't say salary anymore. Instead of saying salary, you say what? Wages.
Wages. Yeah.
Yes, that's the only difference.
Yeah. The first part is easy. This one is a little bit complicated, but I think yeah, it will be okay.
No, you are seeing it for the first time. Remember, I don't expect you to just get it like that. So I want you to maybe after this, when you go back to your book, because in the textbook, you're going to see something like this. And so that you can understand why they did so.
Yes.
Okay. Can you see, if we go back to our book, I think everything that we said must go to EMP. I think we did record that. We recorded UIF, we recorded PAYE, we recorded what? SDL. So they are all there. Can you see now? Now, if you can check on top of this, this is what you normally have to check. So they say the following information relates to, okay, they told us, né? They say, okay, no problem. They say ignore, okay. Assume that this is important. Can you see here? You must always look for this statement. Assume that all the payroll creditors were
paid in full by
this
ERT.
statement. They say, what do they mean by saying this? They say whatever. Remember here we showed that we owe SARS. If you check here, it's coming. Is it showing on your side? Yes. So can you see here? This shows that, okay, please give me the total for everything. This will show us how much do we owe SARS. You must add everything.
Okay. Calculate. Means we need to balance this account after.
Yeah, but yeah, and we need, it's like we need to pay it, yes.
$32,662.25.
Yes, 25. You know, this is the,
Yes.
this is
No,
the total, this is what we,
it's 23,000.
okay, sorry, I'm gonna do this. It's 23, not 32.
23.
Okay. 23,000, like that, né?
Yes.
So meaning this is the total. So meaning when I'm going to balance it, I'm gonna balance it with the same total. Remember how to balance the account before.
Okay.
Okay. Now, so I just wanted to show that I can see what I'm talking about. Now, because of that statement, remember that statement that I was talking about? Let me just show you again. Because of this statement, we have to, this statement, we have to pay. If it was not because of this statement, I was supposed to leave it like that, the way I did it now. Sorry,
Okay.
I was supposed to leave it like this side. I was supposed to add this side and leave it like that. Are we together?
Yes.
Now I must go and pay this amount. For me to pay this amount, it means this account will go down. You understand? So I must come to the other side and I'm paying at the end. So I'm going to put the date again. I'm going to say 2012. I'm going to say March 31st. This is what I'm going to do. Okay. And I must show that I'm paying. When I pay Where do I get money from?
From the bank.
From the bank. So I'm going to say bank here under details. And which book, if you pay from your past experience, when you pay, which subsidiary journal do we use?
CBP.
CBP. And I'm going to pay the amount that I see that I owe. How much do I owe? 23,000. So that is what I owe. That is how I pay. So this means that this account has been paid off.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
I only did this because of that statement. If the statement was not there, I was supposed to leave it here. Does that make sense? And you can only see this only if the account is what?
Liability.
Yes, if it's not a liability, you can't. We only pay what we owe. I hope it makes sense.
Yes.
Thank you so much.